secret, and the hassles from the suits, as I call them. I started thinking, well, 12,000 years old. Maybe it's some kind of a asteroid,
Right.
But even then, I've done some research. Very few asteroids go for any more than several $100,000. There's a guy that actually makes a living traveling all over the world, pays for them, and resells them through his source.
I wonder if the Smithsonian has ever offered $7.9 million for anything before.
Well, officially or unofficially?
Yeah, officially.
Officially, I don't know. I would think if I had an entire woolly mammoth with the fur still on it buried in my backyard, it would probably be hard pressed to literally offer that kind of money. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
So that much. So that's what they're saying. That kind of wipes it off. The other thing is when they told Eddie he's invested $200 million with me, that makes it, not based on what I've held and looked at and seen, but based on the fact they've offered $7.9 million to him, it's worth a whole lot more in the right hands.
Yeah.
I would think that's probably a realistic figure, but what in the world would be $200 million? I mean, I don't care if you're Bill Gates, that's a fair amount of money.
What did the psychics tell you? Did any people that you talked to?
Well, one of the people I talked to that's pretty well connected, not a psychic, but fairly up on a lot of the stuff, she suggested that it's a key.
Right.
We don't know if it's a key that activates some other mechanism.
Are you talking about Dr. Shay West?
No, this is somebody else. This is before.
So that was a confirmation when Dr. Shay West told you the same thing.
But more advanced with what Shay said. But,
right. But so a previous psychic already told you that it was a key. Okay.
Yeah, actually not a psychic, but somebody just that based on the information, she thought it was a key.
Yeah.
And immediately made me think of, the Alias TV series with the Ribaldi stuff and whatever, if you've watched some of that. Ribaldi was this, incredible genius from 400 or 500 years ago.
Yeah.
And had this advanced stuff and whatever, and when you put these objects in the proximity and to make sure it was never in the wrong hands, he sent some of it to Siberia and all this stuff and whatever, and when you bring them all together, now you've got something that can destroy the world or whatever the case.
Yeah.
So, of course, that's TV and whatever, but,
right.
After this stuff starts happening, you start thinking maybe sci-fi is not based on some future thing, maybe it's based on reality.
Yeah, and a lot of times sci-fi things predict future reality or mirror current reality.
Or encourage that to follow that
right.
idea,
Yeah, that's amazing. I know Shay West has said that it is a key that unlocks wormhole technology,
right,
where you can travel through space and or time. So it's basically like a key to a Stargate, or it opens a portal,
right,
of some sort. And I'm just paraphrasing what she said. I don't want to speak for her because she's not here right now. We're doing a pre-taped interview. Comments on this when this program airs will be time for that. So that's pretty amazing that you'd already, because you didn't tell me that before when I talked to you. I didn't know that you had been told that was a key before. So did anyone else tell you anything different, or?
Not yet. I mean, it makes a lot more sense logically.
It seems to be falling right into play.
Yeah. What else would be worth that kind of money? I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money even for a government.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they spend billions here and billions there, like it's no big deal, but.
And even if something was worth that much, they would generally try to offer you less.
Sure.
It was almost like they wanted to give an offer that immediately got. They didn't want to take any risks of not getting that object.
The thing is surprising.
Yeah.
But they must have figured, hey, if you met Eddie, he's just not like some college grad, but
sure.
You can tell, just because you have a good vocabulary you don't have doesn't mean anything
But that's not
related to
pure
your
intelligence.
intelligence. Yeah. Absolutely. So, and Chris is much the same way.
You can be a genius with a 4th grade education.
Well, you can do that and not be able to speak very well, but
right.
that doesn't mean you can't, get on some computer and do whatever. I mean, just
right. I know hackers that, can't, their grammar or spelling may not be the best you've ever seen, but they can make the functionality of a computer do whatever they want it to do.
And that's I've not seen Chris do some of the stuff, but when he's reappeared after about a dozen years of not being in hacking, he got a couple hundred emails the first night basically people that kind of said, I want to be as good as he was, I guess, back then. And said, we thought you were dead, and this group that was protecting you said, what happened? He said, well, I took time to raise a family.
Yeah.
I said, well, welcome back. We got some stuff for you. He says, I've got stuff I'm doing, and that's what he's busy actively pursuing. And he's getting close. I talked to him this morning. Usually I ask him how he's doing. He says, well, I'm breathing. This morning, as I told you, he said, good morning, Vietnam. He's excited because he's about to bust a couple of major doors.
Okay.
And when that occurs, I think we'll find out what this is or what object this works in tandem with.
Yeah.
The other thing that Shay told you, I believe, was that the knowledge to activate this mechanism
right.
is within me.
Right.
Which I don't know what that is, but we're going to
also, she said, he has a role to play in it, but basically you are the key master. like the same movie we were referring to, Ghostbusters.
Right.
That's the key, and you're the key master. But somehow, and Shay told me before, and this is one of the reasons why they're interested in me, and perhaps why, if you search Google Earth, you'll see a number on top of my house that's not really there. It's an overlay of some sort, but that she claims that there's certain knowledge within people, and they try to extract that. It's almost like, I don't know if this is like something past life or just DNA, but somehow there is somehow embedded in us certain kind of knowledge. I mean, it sounds so far-fetched, you combine time travel and spiritual. It's almost like taking physical things and combining them with spiritual things. But I guess if an advanced civilization with technology, I mean, imagine, a civilization, because we've only been in advanced civilization for, a couple hundred years at best.
Right.
And so imagine us 1,000 years from now.
Right.
Imagine 1,000,000 years from now. There may be civilizations that are out there that are several million years old. What could they have developed by now? Who knows what level they're on? It would appear godlike. It would be like angels and gods to us, and especially to ancient people. All of a sudden these guys start coming down in spaceships coming out of the sky. And
right.
They got
like the Mayas, the Incas, and then Ezekiel and stuff like that. Absolutely.
And these people have advanced technology. Advanced technology to the uninitiated is magic.
Well, the photographs to the Indians when they were first discovering this or whatever, they were afraid that they were sucked into the soul. Absolutely. And we laugh and think that's kind of funny, but you got to realize the same happens in some, native people that have never seen white men. They're freaking out thinking you're a ghost because your skin is white.
Yeah, I've never seen anybody that looks that pale.
and it's still alive.
Yeah.
So it's all relative. The other thing that's just amazing with this is that as you start to look, if you do a little research on the size of this Earth in comparison to the Sun, which is a very large, planet or object in space, and then you take that and compare that to some of the other planets and so forth outside of our galaxy, our Earth becomes like a little tiny pinhead. You can't even see the Earth. Our Sun does that.
Yeah.
And these other planets are gigantic, and to think that we're so naive to think we're the only
the Earth
living
is a
human.
BB to a basketball. I mean, it's not even that big. The Sun is more than 1,000,000 times bigger than the Earth.
And then you take our Sun, which is huge by our standards.
It's a small star.
And it's a little tiny, pea compared to some of these, like beach balls in other galaxies.
Yeah. So any kind of amazing type life forms that exist out there. There's no limit to it. And of course, there's a lot of evidence going back to Zacharias and so forth that some alien